Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex, and today we're going to look at the impressive infotainment system on the electric Genesis G80. This video is going to highlight the infotainment screen, which is about 14 inches, and also the rear screens, because this one does have the executive pack, which includes those rear television screens. So first things first, this is a touchscreen. However, as you can probably see, it is very hard to reach the touchscreen from the driver's seat. This car, like other Genesis models, is better suited to using the sort of the knob down here, the Genesis iDrive. It's just that's what the BMW one's called, but it's quite a nice system, especially when using Apple CarPlay. Okay, so on the very first screen, we've got a sort of a wallpaper style thing. We've got the current weather conditions, which is currently cloudy and not very nice. We've got the date and time, the media that is off, as well as the location, and a little map preview, which is sort of blended in together nicely, which is quite cool. So scrolling over to the right-hand side, you can see here we've got all the different apps and the different menus on the screen here. So we've got EV, map, navigation, radio, media, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, and the phone. Moving to the next screen, we have got connected services, which is the Genesis app, Genesis Live, Apple CarPlay, voice memos, settings, valet mode, seat, the quiet mode. Knocking over one button across, get to climate, notification, and the manual. So let's go back to the main screen. So if we swipe down from the top, can't remember if there's anything on here. No, there isn't. Okay, so we'll go here. So on this screen here, we've got in the top left-hand corner is the profile picture. I haven't signed into this car with my Genesis Connected Services app, but at the moment we have got a guest profile. So you can have favorite charging stations, you can have a favorite seating position, favorite steering wheel height, all this sort of good stuff, which makes the Genesis really, really nice to use. You can change the user there, and you can do various things in there, and you can switch between different connected services apps. We've got the top there, we've got the menu, so this will allow you to turn the display off, reorder the icons, and adjust the phone connection. And in the very top right-hand corner, we have got the signal strength. So the Genesis G80 does have an embedded SIM card, and that allows the car to get online. This one, the time, will take you to the time settings, and we've got the date and time as well, and then we've got various things on here. So let's go through the apps one by one and see what we get. So first one is the EV mode. So let's turn the car on completely. There we go. EV. So it tells us the range. So we're currently in eco mode. If we turn off the climate control, we gain about 8 miles of range. So let's turn that back on. So at the moment, we have got 47% battery pack, 47% and 140 miles of range. And you can see here, this particular G80 has the solar roof option. So if we click on the solar roof, it tells us how much power has been generated since the car has been registered. It's about 104.96 kilowatt hours, which is actually pretty impressive. Got the status of the battery, how long it would take to charge on various systems. So it says we'll get 310 miles of range if it's on 100%, which is actually pretty good. And that will take 48 minutes on 800 volt and an hour and 11 minutes on 400 volt. To get from 47% to 100%. Obviously, charging to 80% is a bit quicker. So if we select battery status and then knock that down to 80% there, what that's going to say is 19 minutes on 800 volt and then 39 minutes on 400 volt, and that will give us about 242 miles, which I can attest to. So I charged this to 80 something percent last night on a charger, and it gave me about 240 miles of range. If we go up to 90%, that's going to give us 270 miles of range. And then if we go to 100%, again, 310 miles, which is bang on what Genesis claimed for the range. I haven't tested the range on this car, so I haven't really done a range test. That's not something I tend to do, but there is a full review of this car live now on the channel. Okay, we've got solar roof again, we've got electricity use. When the car's on, it'll tell you what the various things are using. So at the moment, electronics are using half a kilowatt. It's about 500, I think that's about 500 watts, so that's not too bad. Energy consumption, so the journeys I've done recently and the mileage consumption. Again, more information in our main review about the efficiency of the Genesis G80 Electrified. If we click on the battery itself, yeah, it just takes us back to there. So the solar roof, it's a really cool option. I really like it, and it's such a nice idea as well. And this is going to tell you where the nearest charge point is. We've got energy, EV transfer, vehicle to load. We've got settings as well. Again, I'll just take us to the same page. Got charging limits, AC charging currents, battery conditioning modes. So if we turn that off, that's not going to do anything to the range, thankfully, but it says maintained driving and fast charging performance by optimizing the battery temperature in cold winter temperatures. In this mode, setting a fast charging station as a destination consumes more battery energy and may shorten the driving range. We've got utility mode, so that will use, if you're sat still, you can use the high voltage traction battery to power up various things if you're camping in the car, because I think it is big enough to camp in. We've got the recuperation mode, and then you can lock the charging cable always to avoid other people from taking the cable out and having a good laugh about that, which is not good. So that's the EV app, all good stuff. So the next app we have got is the map. So let's have a quick look in here. So this gives us you can turn the dial here and it will zoom in and out, and we have got various things on here. So we've got a menu, got destination, so you can set the destination if you want to, traffic information, nearby info, EV range. That'll basically give us a circle of where we can get to. So if people tell you that EVs can't do anything, 140 miles of range, that'll get you to London, no problem. And you can charge up in London, or even get you to the top of North Wales if you're going up there, and up to Leeds as well, from where I'm currently. So EVs can definitely do the range, more range than people think, I think. Navigation settings, so you've got a lot of options in here. Genesis do a really nice job, and Hyundai and Kia for that matter, of their own sat-nav. I prefer to use the Apple CarPlay system, but their built-in sat-nav is really, really nice. There's lots of options in there. So let's go back. So we've got, let's go down here. So we've got radio, so hopefully it doesn't play anything copyrighted. So let's load that up. So we've got DAB on here, we've got AM and FM, we've got lots of radio stations as well. And one thing took me a little while to find, and every time I drive a Genesis, is how to change the stations. There's some presets here, but if we go up to the menu, this is basically how you do it. It's not that obvious, but once you know it is obvious. So you've got station list, and all the stations in there, and you can set them as favorites. And if we go back, and again up to menu, we can scan the channels, delete favorites, traffic announcements and stuff, switch DAB FM if the DAB loses signal, which happens sometimes. Got web radio, split screen, various things in there, which is all good. And then we have got sound profiles for the advanced sound system with the Lexicon sound system, which sounds really nice. And we can use their voice assistant, again with a button on the steering wheel, to ask it for certain radio stations, which I have used. Media, so you can choose between various things on the screen. So we've got Amazon Music built into the Genesis. I would like to see them build in Apple Music, and Spotify in the future. And it's the same on the Kia and Genesis models as well. I personally think more people are using Apple Music and Spotify than Amazon Music, but I may be wrong. But we have got SoundCloud, Sounds of Nature, AM, Apple CarPlay, DAB, Bluetooth, USB video and USB music. So that's all nice there. And if you do plug a USB device in to play videos from, you can play them on the rear screens in the back there, which we will get to at the end of the video. Amazon Music, so we have got that, and that you can tie your Amazon Music profile to your Genesis profile on the car, basically. So when you get in the car, it's going to play that for you. Same again for SoundCloud as well. We've got a phone there, so that's all nice. So if we click on phone, that'll probably open Apple CarPlay. Yes, it does. That's fine. If we go back to the home screen there, and then across to, yes, we've got connected services next. So this is like their online services, which is awesome. So we've got weather, calendar, sports, vehicle diagnostics, connected services settings. So we look at weather quickly. So it'll tell us where we are and what the weather's going to be. Grey, and cloud, and a bit of rain. So that's all good there. The calendar is really cool. That will sync with your calendar on your phone. So if you sign into the Genesis Connected Services app, the Genesis GCS or GSS, you can sign in with your Apple Calendar or your Google Calendar, and you'll be able to sync it on the car here without having to dive into all the various things there. And it should remind you about certain things you've got upcoming. Sports, again, the whole Hyundai group seems to be really into sports, so you can set your favourite teams of various things there, ice hockey and stuff. I suppose the Genesis is sold in Canada and America, so I know the Canadians are big into ice hockey, so I guess that makes sense with different markets across the world. And golf really makes sense because Genesis sponsor the Genesis Open, some golf events, so it's pretty cool there. Vehicle diagnostics, this will check how the car is doing. Essentially, I've just got the ignition on at the moment, so I can't really check that, but there are some settings in there for the connected services as well. So again, you can enroll the car. There's modem information in there as well. Got the VIN number, IMEI number, codes, different apps in there. So I like the app on the Genesis. It works really well as well. Got Genesis Live. So these are some more online services. So you've got traffic information here. So it should tell you what the roads are doing around the area. So like any day in the UK, lots of roadworks, which is all good fun. Live parking. So this should tell you if there's any parking stations nearby and how many bays are free in some situations, and also how much they cost, which is cool. And then EV charging stations. If you are on a petrol or diesel powered Genesis model, this will obviously be petrol stations, but it tells you what speed they are, how many are free, and sometimes how expensive they are as well. So that's all good there. And then Apple CarPlay itself. So you've used Apple CarPlay before. You've got your maps and various things in there, and all you need to do to go back to home screen is press that button there, and then you can read your text messages, phone, maps, music, various things in there, or you can listen to your favourite podcasts. So I've been listening lately to Smith and Sniff, but also you can load up the Charging Status podcast. So the bit of a plug here. So that is the Charging Status podcast I host with my friend Jim Starling. So we host an EV podcast once a month, and where we talk about the latest EV news. There's a link in the description to watch the episode on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts, and I really appreciate your help and your support in watching or listening to that show. We really enjoy doing it, and we need definitely more listeners. So thank you. So back to the main screen here. Click home. Got voice memos, so let's have a quick test of this. Always like to do this, a bit of fun. This is a test of the voice memo system on the Genesis G80 Electrified. How do I sound? So let's listen back to that. If we can, there we go. Droidwitch. How do I sound? Let's turn the volume up. Genesis G80 Electrified. How do I sound? Sounds alright. Doesn't sound too bad. I could definitely see this as a way for people doing a lot of motorway miles and they remember something in their head, and rather than writing it down or doing whatever, they could just literally note it down and talk to themselves. Really cool option. I mean, I really thought about that quite well, and I know the Hyundai and Kia models also have that too. It's a nice idea. So settings, this is going to be a bit of a long section because these cars definitely have a lot of options in here. So we've got vehicle, navigation, EV sound, phone connections, user profiles, voice recognitions, theme, layout, display, button touchpads, connected services, and general. Right, the very top is the EV section, so let's click on that. And this might be the same settings as we saw earlier, and it definitely is, so various things in there. So that's fine, we'll skip that section. Navigation, let's have a quick look at this bit. So if you're using the built-in sat-nav on the Genesis G80, you can customize the screen somewhat. So we've got vehicle speed can be shown on the screen if you want it to, traffic information, color for the traffic on routes. So it should tell you, like Apple Maps does and Google Maps, the route will glow orange or red to tell you if the traffic's rubbish. Show point of interest icons. Got guidance here. Route options, so let's click in there. You can prioritize what route you have. So recommended, fastest, economic, prefer motorways, and that good stuff there. By the way, I am clicking the back button on the screen, on the buttons down here. So we've got menu, home, and back. And just as a nice shortcut to get back, just have to click those buttons and they take you back to where you need to go, which is really nice. You've got set guide distance type. So we've got interval distance or cumulative distance. We've also got distance type displayed for turns maneuvers. Let's have a quick look in there. So we've got show route details, augmented reality view, which is quite cool. Border crossing information. I love this feature. I think they've got an idea that people in this sort of cars, they travel a lot. So it'll tell you the information on what that country does, the phone country code, traffic information, the motorway speed limits, the countryside speed limits, and then the town and city. Really good idea. People travel a lot more than they used to in their car, especially abroad. And I have to imagine that the typical Genesis customer is a well-travelled gentleman. So having a lot more information about where you're going is awesome. Really thoughtful piece of information there. Display alternative routes. You've got show route overview while stopped. Mute voice guidance, nearby destinations, and various things in there. We've got alerts, got camera alert settings. Let's have a quick look in there. So just knock that over to the side, and we've got alert distance depending on the speed limit, alert distance, and alert distance on motorways. Let's go back to map. So we've got map mode. So we can probably choose between, we've got 3D buildings, auto zoom, map view. We've got 3Ds as well, and different options in there, which is awesome. And then you've got font size, you can change that, which is good. Daytime map colors, you can choose between black, cafe latte, mocha, and milk. Black's fine because it sort of goes in keeping with the whole car. Vehicle symbol, So you can choose between copper or copper rust. Interesting. And then we've got auto zoom settings, so you can choose probably how far it zooms in. So we've got, yeah, extra zoom in, and it should give you a little preview of what that looks like. Yeah, it does as well. Extra zoom out as well, which is nice. And let's go off to the side. We're still basically in the navigation settings here. Automated features, we've got previous destinations, automatic return after scrolling, that's a nice idea. Return to map, my data, satellite mode, and other options in there. So let's go back to clicks. EV mode, yeah, we've done that bit. We've got vehicle. Let's have a look in there. We've done vehicle and navigation. We've done vehicle. We've just done navigation. Let's do the vehicle bit next. So driver assistance, we've got, let's have a look in here. So we've got various options in here, much like the Hyundai models as well, a really, really deep amount of customization. So we have SSC, or Smart Cruise Control, linked driving mode based on driving style, view driving analysis. So you can choose how far you want everything set. So you can have default distance set to 1 or 2, acceleration fast, response speed quick, and then the amount of customization is cool. Let's go back to driving convenience or smart. Yeah, let's go back a page. Yes, takes us back to this section here. So driving convenience. Got HDA, motorway driving assist. This feature is so good. The car will recognise when you're on the motorway, and it will give you like lane assist options. You're keeping the lane, set the speed limits, and various things. It's really, really clever. Lane change assist on motorways and motorway auto speed change, which is is such a cool feature. Speed limit, so you've got warnings, off or assist. This is a bit of an older vehicle, so I think it was registered in 2022 or 2023. I will put on screen when it was, but it hasn't got any annoying stuff. Modern cars have a lot of annoying stuff on them, and this doesn't have anything annoying. The only thing that is mildly annoying is the lane assist. All you do is hold down the steering wheel with the 2 lines, goes off, job done. I did possibly 5 or 6 hours yesterday driving around the country, and super relaxing, super easy to use, and just a brilliant, brilliant car to drive. I have lost where I was now. So forward safety, got forward cross traffic safety, active assist, warning only, and off. If we go back, got lane safety, assist, warning or off, blind spot safety, blind spot view monitoring, safe exit assist or SEA, active assist, warning only. We got, let's go back, keep clicking the wrong button. Let's go back a page to vehicle. Sorry for this, driving assistance, there we go. Got speed limit, yeah, we've done, so got door, so driver attention warning, parking safety. Let's have a look in door. Yeah, so leading vehicle departure alert, forward attention warning, and swaying warning as well. And that's pretty much it for the driving assistance features. So let's go into drive mode. So brakes are in comfort, you can choose sport as well, and then drive mode, change alert. And we have also got eco mode, climate control, so that reduces the amount of power that's needed to power up the climate control system. This particular one does have the heads-up display, and what's really nice about these vehicles is you can adjust where that is displayed. So you can adjust the height, the rotation, the brightness, various things. If you are a shorter gentleman like myself, you can sit really low in the car, and then you can move the thing around, which is nice. And then you can also choose the content selection on there, so turn by turn, driving convenience, blind spot, or media as well, which is a nice thing to have. Let's go to the cluster. So you've got illumination, you can choose how bright everything is. You've got the theme selection, so you've got link to drive mode. There's lots of different modes on here. You've got sport, normal, eco, and snow. The snow is an optional version that you have to hold down the button for, but there's 3 main themes, and you can change the theme based on what driving mode you're in. Theme B, or the normal mode, is more like traditional dials. The eco mode is really nice, and you can also turn 3D on as well. So if you want everything to look 3D, sort of a 3D effect, looks quite cool there. And then you've got a medium mode for that, but off as well. I like the flat look. EV economy reset after recharging. You've got on vehicle start or manually. You've got various modes in there as well. You've got content selection, wiper lights display. That's another nice thing about the 3 brands, is when you select the wiper mode, it tells you if your wipers are in automatic, because sometimes it's a little hard to tell. So it's a really nice thing they do as well. Let's look at climate, so internal air circulation. Lots of options in here, so you can have it automatically enable recirculation when the washer fluid is used, when you're entering a tunnel, which is also really cool. Automatic ventilation, so auto dehumidify, that will basically cycle itself between recirculating and bringing fresh air in, and it will sort of try and remove the humidity in here. We've also got smart ventilation. Again, when the humidity increases, if the climate control is off, it'll try and get rid of it all. Defog, defrost, and then auto defog. Climate features, indirect ventilation. So it says the cabin is cooled down using a 3-dimensional diffused airflow. Looks like from the back of the screen there. You can turn off the rear climate controls. For if you've got kids in the back, you don't want them faffing around, you can do that. Eco mode climate control as well. Climate touchscreen haptic intensity. That's currently off. You don't really need that on. Warming vent features. So you've got link to climate settings for auto adjustment on the steering wheel and the driver's seat. And it says set heat balance. So you can choose where the heating elements are most used. That's the cushion or the back. Same for the passenger seat as well. That's very cool. Yeah, I've not seen that before. That's really, really cool. Okay, you've got seats, warming vent features. We just looked in there. Got smart support. So when you put the car in sport mode, the seat will grip you. Not as much as a GV60 Sport Plus, but it will grip you and sort of keep you in the corners quite well. Ergo motion. So what that would do is reduce fatigue. So if you've been driving for an hour plus, it will basically do the smart posture assist and sort of keep you comfortable, which is really nice. Same for the passenger seat as well there. Seat easy access for both seats. So if you, when you open the door or stop the car and put it in park, it will move the steering wheel up, move the seat back, and allow you to get in the seat a bit easier. Once you get back in, it will do the same in reverse. Seat switch alerts as well, ergo motion activity, tell you what's going on in the car. And then we've got lights, so ambient lighting in here. So there's lots of different options in here, so you can choose between the colours. There's lots and lots and lots of colours in there, and you can dim it in the dark as well and choose the brightness mode, which is awesome. We have got one touch turn indicators. So when you turn the indicator on, you can choose how many flashes that does for you. And then the intelligent high beams, and that will, when that's going to come on, so you can have it faster or slower, which is really cool. So faster than 50 miles an hour, that will come on by itself. Welcome mirror lights, so it will display a little puddle light on the floor from the mirrors when you unlock it or get near to the car. There's also a headlamp delay and travel mode as well. When you're traveling in the continent, you can choose which side of the road is lit up the most, which is really good. Doors, so auto lock, enable on speed, auto unlock on vehicle off, power trunk opening height, smart trunk remote window controls there. We've got convenience features, so let's have a quick look in here. Rear occupant alerts, service intervals, wireless phone charging system. I haven't been able to get the charging system to work on the Genesis G80 for wireless phones. It doesn't seem to function on this particular one, but I will update the description if I could find out why. So that's the main settings for the vehicle itself. We've looked at the EV modes as sound as well. So this has got Lexicon by Harman Kardon. So it's got premium sound turned on, got positioning, the equalizer, guidance, radio noise control, various bits in there, driver assistance, volumes, connected device volumes, premium sound, and then got the phone connection as well. You can choose what phones are connected to the car, and you've got various things in there as well. And then user profiles, voice recognition, theme layouts, so you can choose certain colours and themes for the whole interface of the car. So it changes it to copper, or you can choose copper rust, which is just blue. I like the blue one really. And then you can choose the exterior colour of the car. Obviously that's not going to change the colour of the car outside, but wherever the car is displayed on the screen, you can choose what colour it is. So I believe this car it's something green, which I probably should know this. It's like a very bluey green colour. Unfortunately these colours aren't named. That looks like Capri blue to me, which is a lovely colour. It might be that one. Or that one. I think it's that one. We've got font sizes, home screen wallpapers, theme selection, screensavers, split screen, and various things in there. Again, we've got displays, you've got illumination, front display, brightness, you've got the rear settings, camera settings, blue light filters, various things in there. Button touchpads, so like all the cars from the group, the Kias, Hyundais, and Genesis, we've got a custom button on the steering wheel and a custom one on the center console bit here, and you can choose what that does, which is really cool. And you can reverse various buttons and do various things on there, which is awesome. connected services, and then the general settings, which are to do with the software on the screen, basically, so more tech-based than car-based. So you can see what version of software it's on and when it was last done, so last updated in August. So we've got system information, what's new. So what did they add last time? Let's have a look here. So audio system, cluster update, head-up display, nothing for there. So let's have a look at audio system. It says connect your phone wirelessly and access your phone apps wirelessly with CarPlay, and that was only added in August. Yeah, I forget that this was only added recently. Same for the Kona as well, and they've only added SoundCloud recently as well. So if you do own a Genesis G80 or any Hyundai Group model, go and check there's not a software update if you haven't got wireless CarPlay, because it's really good. The fact that they've added it, and it didn't have it for such a long time, and I'm glad they have added it now. We've got date and time settings, so daylight saving, languages, keyboard settings, units. So you can choose what units everything's going to be in, and we have got, that's pretty much it for the settings. Valet mode, so what this would do is limit the speed and output power of the car. Got the seat settings, so we have got, you can adjust the seats from here, so you've got forward and backwards. You can adjust them, backrest angles, cushion height, cushion tilt, various things in there, all good. Let's go back to quiet mode. So this is awesome. You have got a kid in the back. You can put the whole car in quiet mode and you can let them get to sleep. Climate. So let's have a quick look in here. Yeah, you've got various things in here. You can control them from the touchscreen underneath the buttons here, but also from the screen if you want to as well. A bit easy to see, but you don't have to use it if you want. And then there's notification and the manual. So here in the back seats, we're now going to look at the rear screens. This is part of the executive pack on the Genesis G80, and the price for that pack is on screen. It does add quite a lot of things to the car, but one of which is these cool screens. So as you can see here, we've got these screens set up. These are touchscreen, which are really nice, and they've got a lot of different options on here. The other thing you can do is you can control the screens from a central armrest here. So if we lower this all the way down, what we've got here is like a media control center here. We've got wireless phone charging, which is pretty good. We've got ventilated seats, heated seats. We can also power on and off these screens here individually. And then we can control, basically, you can switch the controls between left and right screens. And the content you play is going to be separate for each person on different screens. They are a really good sort of brightness level, and you get a lot of options on here. Underneath here is a USB port and then 2 headphone sockets. The headphone sockets are separate for each person. I don't know if you can connect Bluetooth, but we will find out in this video. So on the main screen, we have got the music playing in the car. We've got the location, date and time, time as well. And then we've got 4 different screens, and we can use this knob here, just like the front as well. So we've got the current song playing. We've got climate, so we can adjust the climate in the back if we want to. The map of where we are, so you can exactly see where you are in the country. And we've got same as the front. We've got back, home, and menu. So if we go back a page here, we've got weather, navigation, radio, music, videos, and sports, as well as the cameras for the car, so you can see what's behind you, fully what's behind you, the rear as well, and then the doors. We go back a page. That's really cool. You can adjust the ambient lighting, colors and stuff, which is really nice. So I guess that's just for the back here, which is really cool. We've got settings. Let's see if we can connect Bluetooth. Got navigation, sound, phone connections. So phone connections is probably for the front. Yeah, that is what that's for. Theme settings or theme layouts. That's for the front. Display, button, touchpads. So I'm not entirely sure if you can connect Bluetooth headphones to these, but we have got an aux cable for various headphones in the back. It'd be nice to see if the new G80 has at least Bluetooth audio for that. So you've got manual, cameras, music. So video, you would have to connect a memory stick or an SD card that had a video file on it to get that to work, but that's pretty cool nonetheless. And again, we can play with the radio here, so if we turn up the volume, that plays throughout the entire car. I've got the video and different things like that. So that's really cool, really nice option. Again, they are tiltable, so if the sun is bothering you, you can tilt these out of the way. And it looks like they work really well, so you can mute different options in there as well. You can mute the sound completely. And you've got the volume back there as well. Really, really impressive. Really nice system that Genesis have built in. However, possibly an iPad might work a bit better because you can at least get streaming services in the back. It is a nice option though, and you can control various things. Imagine if you're chauffeuring someone around, they want to play with the radio, you can let them do that, so that's pretty good. So that's been a look at the infotainment system and the rear displays for the Genesis G80 Electrified. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to Interface Cars. My name's Alex, and I'll see you again in the next one.